Welcome back, paranormal enthusiasts. Thank you for joining us on this eerie journey through the realms of folklore and legend. Today, we delve deep into the haunting corridors of some of the most enigmatic places from across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay connected. And be sure to explore our thrilling playlist, Haunted History, where you will find more videos just like this. Now, let's embark on this thrilling journey together. The Crescent Hotel, located in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, has a long and storied history that has earned it a reputation as one of the most haunted hotels in the United States. The hotel was originally constructed in 1886 by the Eureka Springs Improvement Company and was intended to be a luxurious resort for wealthy visitors attracted to the area by the supposed healing powers of the local springs. Over the years, the hotel has witnessed various tragedies, accidents, and deaths, which are believed to have left lingering energy and spirits behind. One of the most tragic incidents occurred in 1885 when a stonemason named Michael was working on the hotel's construction, fell to his death in what is now room 218. Some guests have reported eerie experiences and encounters in this room ever since. In 1937, the hotel was transformed into the Baker Cancer Hospital, run by a charlatan named Norman Baker, who claimed to have the cure for cancer. However, his treatments were ineffective and often cruel, leading to the deaths of many patients. It is said that the spirits of some of these unfortunate patients still roam the halls, seeking solace or perhaps justice. Another alleged ghost is that of Dr. John Fremont Ellis, a prominent figure during the Baker era. He reportedly appears in the hotel's lobby and hallways, and some guests have claimed to see a distinguished-looking gentleman in period clothing walking through the building. There have been numerous accounts of a lady dressed in Victorian clothing wandering through the hotel and its gardens. Some believe she might be the spirit of a guest from the hotel's early days. Guests and staff have reported doors opening and closing on their own, unexplained cold spots, strange noises, and objects moving without any apparent cause. These occurrences have contributed to the hotel's reputation as a hotbed of paranormal activity. The hotel now embraces its haunted history and offers ghost tours for guests interested in exploring the alleged paranormal phenomena. These tours take visitors to some of the most haunted areas of the hotel and share the stories and experiences of past guests and staff members. Whether you are a believer in the supernatural or not, the Crescent Hotel's history and reputation as a haunted location add to its allure and intrigue for visitors from around the world. The Catacombs of Paris are an underground ossuary in Paris, France, that hold the remains of millions of people. The site has a haunted history that has intrigued visitors and historians alike. The catacombs were originally created as limestone quarries to provide construction material for the growing city of Paris. Over the centuries, the underground tunnels spread extensively beneath the city. By the 18th century, Parisian cemeteries were becoming overcrowded, leading to health hazards and unpleasant odors. The decision was made to move the remains of the deceased into the disused quarry tunnels. Between the late 18th and 19th centuries, the bones from the various cemeteries were carefully transferred to the catacombs in a process that took several years. The bones were stacked and arranged in an organized manner, creating the eerie walls of bones that visitors see today. The catacombs have numerous tunnels and passages, some of which date back to Roman times, while others remain unexplored. These hidden passageways have led to stories of unexplained phenomena and ghostly encounters. Over the years, the catacombs have been the subject of various myths and legends. Some stories talk about secret societies conducting mysterious rituals and gatherings in the underground maze. While there is little concrete evidence to support these claims, they add to the enigmatic aura surrounding the site. Urban explorers and curious individuals have ventured into the restricted areas of the catacombs, sometimes getting lost or encountering danger. These daring explorations have contributed to the sense of mystery and danger associated with the underground labyrinth. Visitors and workers in the catacombs have reported strange sounds, unexplained cold spots, and the feeling of being watched. While these accounts can often be attributed to the eerie atmosphere and psychological factors, they have added to the haunted reputation of the catacombs. In recent years, the authorities have increased security to prevent unauthorized access to the catacombs. This not only aims to protect visitors, but also to preserve the historical and cultural significance of this unique site. The haunted history of the catacombs of Paris is a blend of factual events such as the mass reburial of bones and the mystery surrounding the ancient underground tunnels, combined with myths, legends, and the thrill of exploring forbidden areas. The site continues to captivate the imagination of people from around the world, making it one of the most intriguing and haunted places in Paris. Aokigahara Forest, also known as the Sea of Trees or the Suicide Forest, is located at the northwest base of Mount Fuji in Japan. It has gained a haunting reputation due to its association with tragedy and paranormal occurrences, making it one of the most infamous and eerie places in the country. Aokigahara has a long history of being associated with supernatural phenomena and eerie tales. According to local folklore, the forest is considered a haunted place where Yuri and other malevolent spirits roam. The dense foliage and silence within the forest create an unsettling atmosphere, fueling these ghostly legends. The forest has tragically become known as a popular location for suicides, which has added to its haunting reputation. The reasons behind the high number of suicides are complex and multifaceted, including mental health issues, societal pressures, and cultural factors. Signs and prevention measures have been placed throughout the forest to deter individuals from taking their lives. One mysterious aspect of the forest is the presence of a magnetic anomaly. The volcanic rocks in the region create disturbances in the Earth's magnetic field, leading to compasses malfunctioning and causing disorientation for some visitors. This phenomenon adds to the sense of being lost and adds an eerie element to the forest's reputation. Visitors and locals alike have reported strange occurrences within the forest. People claim to hear disembodied voices, experience sudden drops in temperature, and feel an overwhelming sense of dread and sadness. These alleged paranormal experiences contribute to the forest's haunted reputation. Aokigahara has found its way into popular culture both in Japan and internationally. It has been featured in movies, documentaries, and books that portray its eerie ambience and the tragic history. These depictions have further cemented its reputation as a haunting and unsettling place. In recent years, there have been concerted efforts by various organizations and volunteers to address the issue of suicide in Aokigahara. Signs encouraging people to seek help, helpline numbers, and messages of hope have been installed throughout the forest. These efforts aim to raise awareness about mental health and provide support for those struggling with suicidal thoughts. Despite its dark reputation, Aokigahara Forest is also a place of natural beauty with scenic walking trails and unique lava formations. However, it is essential to remember the sensitivity and respect required when visiting such a place with a tragic history, and to recognize the importance of mental health awareness and support for those in need. Nestled in the quiet town of Villisca, Iowa, stands a house that holds a horrifying secret. On the night of June 9, 1912, this unassuming house became the setting for one of America's most baffling and brutal crimes. The Moore family and two young house guests would experience a tragedy that would forever stain the pages of history. The Moore family consisted of Josiah Moore, a respected businessman, his wife, Sarah, and 4 children. That fateful night, Lena and Ina Stellinger, friends of the Moore children, were staying over, but little did they know that a dark presence was lurking just beyond their peaceful lives. Late in the evening, the killer silently entered the home armed with an axe. One by one, they brutally attacked each family member and the 2 young guests. The morning sun revealed the horrifying aftermath of this heinous act. The whole town was left in shock and disbelief. The gruesome scene shook the community to its core, and the hunt for the murderer became a national obsession. However, despite extensive investigations and a series of suspects, the case would remain unsolved. Today, the Villisca Axe Murder House stands as a haunting reminder of that tragic night. Many visitors and paranormal enthusiasts claim to have experienced inexplicable phenomena within its walls. The house has become a hotbed for ghost hunters, psychics, and those intrigued by the macabre. One investigator claimed the Villisca Axe Murder House is like a magnet for paranormal activity. We've captured EVPs, seen shadow figures, and witnessed objects moving on their own. It's truly chilling. Another investigator said, "The energy in this place is unlike anything I've ever encountered. The spirits here seem restless, seeking justice, or perhaps trying to communicate their untold stories." The dark history and reported paranormal encounters have made the Villisca Axe Murder House a significant landmark in true crime lore. It serves as a reminder of the brutality of the crime and the lingering questions that remain unanswered. As we conclude our journey through the Villisca Axe Murder House, we're left pondering the identity of the mysterious killer and the unspeakable horror that occurred within its walls. The tragic events of that night have woven this house into the fabric of American folklore, ensuring that it will continue to captivate and haunt our collective imagination for generations to come. Eastern State Penitentiary, located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is one of the most famous and allegedly haunted prisons in the United States. Its eerie history and the stories of paranormal activity have made it a popular destination for ghost hunters and tourists alike. Here is a glimpse into its haunted past. Established in 1829, Eastern State Penitentiary was one of the first penitentiaries in the world. It was designed to implement the Philadelphia system, a revolutionary approach to incarceration at the time. The system aimed to rehabilitate prisoners through solitary confinement and reflection. Believing that isolation would lead them to penitence, hence the name penitentiary, each inmate had a private cell which was intended to prevent them from corrupting one another. The harsh conditions of solitary confinement and the strict discipline subjected upon the prisoners led to many mental breakdowns. Several inmates suffered from severe psychological trauma, and some even died within their cells. It is believed that the anguish and suffering endured by these prisoners have left an imprint on the building, contributing to the alleged hauntings. Over its operational years, Eastern State Penitentiary housed some infamous criminals, including bank robber Willie Sutton and gangster Al Capone. The spirits of these notorious inmates are said to still roam in the corridors. One of the most commonly reported paranormal phenomena is that of a dark humanoid figure often referred to as the Shadow. Witnesses claim to see this ominous entity lurking in various areas of the prison, disappearing as soon as it is noticed. Cell Block 12 is known for its intense paranormal activity. Visitors and staff have reported hearing disembodied voices, whispering, and eerie laughter emanating from the cells. Even some claim to have been touched or pushed by unseen hands. People have reported seeing ghostly faces peering out from the cell windows, especially in the early morning hours when the prison is relatively quiet. Many visitors have heard unexplained footsteps, clanging of cell doors, and strange banging noises throughout the prison, even though it has been closed to inmates since 1971. Numerous paranormal investigators, psychics, and mediums have visited Eastern State Penitentiary to explore its haunted reputation further. Some claim to have captured ghostly apparitions and recorded eerie voices during their investigations. In recent years, Eastern State Penitentiary has embraced its haunted reputation and hosts a popular Halloween haunted house attraction. This event draws thousands of visitors, many of whom hope to encounter paranormal activity themselves. The LaLaurie Mansion, also known as the LaLaurie House, is a historic residence located in the French Quarter of New Orleans, Louisiana. The mansion is infamous for its dark and haunted history, which revolves around the notorious Delphine LaLaurie, a prominent socialite in the early 19th century. Delphine LaLaurie was born in 1787 in New Orleans and married 3 times during her life. Her third husband, Dr. Louis LaLaurie, was a wealthy physician, which enabled the couple to live in the elegant mansion at 1140 Royal Street. On the surface, Delphine appeared to be a respected member of the community and known for hosting extravagant parties. However, behind the facade of wealth and charm, she concealed a dark secret. There were rumors circulating in the city about her cruel treatment of her slaves, but it wasn't until April 10, 1834, that the horrifying truth was exposed. A fire broke out in the mansion, and when the authorities arrived to extinguish it, they discovered several enslaved individuals chained up and malnourished. According to accounts from eyewitnesses, the slaves showed signs of severe abuse and torture. It's said that some were found with body parts mutilated, limbs broken, and confined to small cages. The discovery shocked the city, and a mob of angry citizens descended upon the mansion, demanding justice for the victims. However, the LaLauries had already fled the scene, reportedly escaping to Paris, France, to avoid prosecution. The mansion was left abandoned and earned a reputation as one of the most haunted places in New Orleans. Over the years, numerous reports of paranormal activity have been linked to the mansion. Locals and visitors claim to have witnessed apparitions, heard screams and moans, and experienced strange phenomena within its walls. Ghost tours and paranormal investigators frequently visit the site to explore its haunted past. Due to its chilling history, the LaLaurie Mansion has become a popular subject in books, movies, and TV shows, contributing to its status as one of the most haunted and infamous locations in New Orleans. It stands as a reminder of the horrors that occurred behind closed doors during a dark period in American history. The Gettysburg Battlefield is known for its chilling and haunted history, stemming from the significant and deadly events that occurred during the Battle of Gettysburg in July 1863 during the American Civil War. This battle was a turning point in the war and resulted in the loss of thousands of lives on both sides. The immense suffering and tragic deaths have left an enduring mark on the land, and many believe that the spirits of the fallen soldiers continue to linger there to this day. Here are some of the eerie and ghostly tales associated with the Gettysburg Battlefield. The Devil's Den. This rocky and rugged area saw intense fighting during the battle, and it is believed that the spirits of soldiers who fell there still haunt the place. Visitors have reported hearing phantom gunshots, battle cries, and the apparitions of soldiers moving across the rocks. The area known as the Triangular Field is haunted by spirits of fallen Confederate soldiers. It is said that the moans and cries of the wounded can still be heard on quiet nights, and some have claimed to see ghostly figures dressed in tattered uniforms roaming the field. One of the bloodiest areas of the battlefield, the haunted wheat field, is said to be haunted by ghosts of soldiers who died there. Visitors have reported seeing ghostly apparitions rising from the ground and strange lights hovering over the field. Some witnesses have reported seeing ghostly cavalry units riding through the battlefield, reenacting their doomed charges from the past. The sounds of galloping hooves and clinking sabers have been heard by many. The tragic aftermath of the battle led to many orphans being left behind. It is believed that the spirits of these children still haunt the area around the former orphanage, and some visitors have reported hearing the sounds of children laughing and playing. A famous ghostly figure at Gettysburg is the Lady in White. This apparition is often seen walking along the battlefield or near the triangular field, and some believe she is searching for her lost love, a soldier who died during the battle. The Farnsworth House, which served as a field hospital during the battle, is believed to be haunted by the spirits of soldiers who died there. Visitors and staff have reported hearing disembodied voices, footsteps, and seeing objects move on their own. As with many locations, we are left in awe of the haunted history that permeates the Gettysburg Battlefield. The spirits of the fallen soldiers continue to linger, reminding us of the sacrifices made during one of the nation's darkest times. The Moon River Brewing Company in Savannah, Georgia is known for its haunted history and has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the city. The building itself has a long and storied past, contributing to the tales of paranormal activity that surround it. The Moon River Brewing Company is housed in a historic building that dates back to 1821. It was originally constructed as the City Hotel, which was one of the earliest hotels in Savannah. The hotel was a popular gathering place for locals and travelers alike, but it also saw its fair share of tragedy and violence over the years. One of the most well-known ghost stories associated with the Moon River Brewing Company revolves around a man named Toby. According to legend, Toby was a former employee of the hotel during the 1800s who met a tragic end. He was either a bartender or vagrant seeking shelter in the building when he was brutally murdered. It is said that his spirit still lingers in the brewery, and many visitors and staff claim to have encountered his ghostly presence. Some have reported hearing disembodied footsteps, seeing objects move on their own, and feeling an eerie presence in certain areas of the building. Apart from Toby's ghosts, other spirits are believed to haunt the Moon River Brewing Company. Some accounts mention the presence of a ghostly woman who roams the upper floors of the building, perhaps a former guest or employee of the hotel. Additionally, the basement is said to be a hot spot for paranormal activity, with reports of shadowy figures, strange sounds, and feelings of unease. Over the years, paranormal investigators and ghost enthusiasts have visited Moon River Brewing Company to experience and document the reported hauntings. The building's haunted reputation has also made it a popular spot for ghost tours in Savannah. The Myrtles Plantation is an old and infamous antebellum mansion located in St. Francisville, Louisiana. It has gained a reputation as one of America's most haunted homes due to the number of ghost stories and paranormal occurrences associated with it. The history of the plantation is riddled with tragedy, death, and mystery, which has contributed to its eerie reputation. The plantation was originally built in 1796 by General David Bradford, also known as Whiskey Dave. He was a successful lawyer and businessman who fled Pennsylvania to escape arrest for his role in the Whiskey Rebellion. Bradford lived in the mansion with his family until his death in 1808. The most well-known and tragic tale associated with the Myrtles is that of Chloe, a slave woman owned by Clark Woodruff who acquired the plantation in 1820. According to the legend, Clark had an affair with Chloe, and in a desperate attempt to gain his favor and protect herself from punishment, she eavesdropped on family conversations. However, when she was caught, Woodruff punished her by cutting off one of her ears. Feeling vengeful, Chloe poisoned a birthday cake intended for Woodruff's wife and 2 of her children. Tragically, the poison killed them, and the other slaves subsequently lynched Chloe for her actions. Her ghost is said to haunt the plantation, and some visitors claim to have seen a spectral woman wearing a turban and a green dress, believed to be Chloe, wandering the grounds. Another tragic event associated with the Myrtles is the murder of William Winter and his wife, Sarah. William was a lawyer and the plantation's owner in the mid-19th century. He was shot by a stranger, and as he lay dying, he managed to crawl back into the house, leaving a trail of blood that can still be seen to this day. Sarah, grief-stricken and heartbroken, died shortly after. Their spirits are said to linger in the mansion, with visitors reporting eerie sounds, strange occurrences, and even the presence of ghostly figures. Over the years, numerous reports of paranormal activity have been documented at the Myrtles Plantation, including unexplained footsteps, doors opening and closing on their own, strange noises, and ghostly apparitions. Many visitors and paranormal investigators have claimed to capture evidence of ghosts through photographs and electronic devices. The Myrtles Plantation has been featured in various TV shows and books about haunted locations, further cementing its reputation as a hotbed of supernatural activity. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the haunted history of Myrtles has certainly left a lasting impression on those who visit, making it a popular destination for thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts. The Salem Witch Memorial, located in Salem, Massachusetts, is a somber and haunting tribute to the tragic events that took place during the Salem witch trials in 1692. The memorial serves as a poignant reminder of the hysteria, fear, and injustice that led to the wrongful execution of numerous innocent people accused of practicing witchcraft. The Salem witch trials were a series of hearings and prosecutions that occurred in colonial Massachusetts. Between February 1692 and May 1693, over 200 people were accused of witchcraft, and 20 of them were executed, mostly by hanging. The accused were predominantly women, but men were also among the victims. The hysteria began when several young girls in Salem Village, Massachusetts, exhibited strange behaviors and claimed to be possessed by witches. As accusations spread, a special court was established to hear the cases of those accused of practicing witchcraft. The trials were conducted under dubious legal practices and relied heavily on spectral evidence and forced confessions extracted through harsh interrogation methods. As the trials progressed, the fear and paranoia escalated, leading to the execution of many innocent people. These trials are often seen as a dark chapter in American history, characterized by mass hysteria, religious extremism, and an abuse of power by the court. The Salem Witch Memorial, which opened in 1992, commemorates the victims of these trials. It consists of a series of 20 granite benches arranged in a semicircle, each bearing the name of an individual who was executed during the witch trials. The memorial's design evokes a sense of solemnity and reflection, allowing visitors to pay their respects and contemplate the devastating impact of the witch trials on the lives of those accused and their families. People from all over the world visit the Salem Witch Memorial to honor the memory of those who lost their lives during the witch trials and to remind themselves of the importance of tolerance, justice, and the preservation of individual rights. Though the memorial stands as a reminder of a dark and tragic past, it also serves as a symbol of the ongoing struggle against fear, prejudice, and the dangers of unchecked mass hysteria. It is an important historical site that encourages visitors to reflect upon the consequences of irrationality and the importance of safeguarding the principles of fairness, and due process in any society. The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, also known as the Weston State Hospital, is a historic mental health facility located in Weston, West Virginia. It has gained a reputation for being one of the most haunted places in the country due to its troubled past and the stories of paranormal activity associated with it. The asylum was constructed between 1858 and 1881, designed by architect Richard Andrews in a Victorian Gothic style. It was originally built to accommodate 250 patients, but became heavily overcrowded, housing over 2,400 patients at its peak in the 1950s. The conditions within the hospital were notoriously harsh and unsanitary, and patients often endured inhumane treatments. Throughout its history, the asylum employed controversial psychiatric practices common during the 19th and 20th centuries. Treatments such as lobotomies, electroshock therapy, and other experimental procedures were conducted on patients, often leading to physical and emotional suffering. Reports of abuse and neglect by staff members were also common. As public attitudes towards mental health treatment shifted and new treatment methods were developed, the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum faced scrutiny and criticism. Lawsuits, funding issues, and changing ideologies eventually led to its closure in 1994. After the asylum's closure, reports of paranormal activity began to surface. Numerous ghost hunters, paranormal investigators, and tourists have claimed to witness strange occurrences within the abandoned building. Some of the reported experiences include disembodied voices, footsteps, apparitions, and feelings of being watched. In the years following its closure, the asylum started offering ghost tours, which further fueled its haunted reputation. Tourists and paranormal enthusiasts from all over the world have visited the site to explore the allegedly haunted corridors and rooms, hoping to encounter spirits and experience the building's eerie atmosphere. Among the most famous alleged ghosts are four spirits often referred to as the Big Four. They include the ghost of a young girl named Lily, a Civil War soldier, a violent entity known as the Shadow Man, and a former nurse named Elizabeth. Over time, various legends and myths have been associated with the asylum. These stories range from tragic patients' deaths to unsolved mysteries, which have contributed to the haunted reputation of the location. Whether one believes in the supernatural or not, the history of the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum serves as a chilling reminder of the dark past of mental health care and the need for compassion and ethical treatment of individuals with mental illness. The Tower of London, an iconic historic landmark situated on the banks of the River Thames in London, England, has a long and storied history, much of which is associated with the haunting tales and paranormal occurrences. The site's gruesome and turbulent past has led to numerous ghost stories and legends, making it one of the most haunted places in the United Kingdom. The Tower of London has served various purposes throughout its history, including being a royal palace, a fortress, and a prison. It gained a reputation as a place of torture and execution during the medieval period. Countless prisoners, including prominent figures like Anne Boleyn, Lady Jane Grey, and Thomas More, were held captive and executed within its walls. Many believe that the tormented spirits of these unfortunate souls still linger in the tower, haunting the grounds. One of the most enduring mysteries and ghostly tales associated with the tower is that of the princes in the tower. In 1483, the young King Edward V and his brother Richard, Duke of York, disappeared while being held in the tower. Their uncle, Richard III, seized the throne, and the fate of the young princes has remained shrouded in mystery. Over the centuries, several apparitions of young children dressed in historic clothing have been reported, believed to be the spirits of the lost princes. The central keep of the Tower of London, known as the White Tower, is said to be haunted by the spirit of a bear. The story goes that a bear was kept in the tower during the reign of King Henry III, and its ghostly presence is still felt by some visitors. The Tower of London's iconic Traitor's Gate, used to bring prisoners into the fortress, is associated with ghostly apparitions of headless figures. Among them are Anne Boleyn and Lady Jane Grey, both of whom were executed at the tower. Some visitors claim to have encountered ghostly figures dressed in historical uniforms who vanish into thin air when approached. These spectral sentinels are believed to be the ghosts of former guards protecting the tower even in the afterlife. According to legend, the ghost of a woman dressed in white, known as the Screaming Lady, roams the corridors of the tower. Her screams are said to be a constant reminder of the anguish and suffering endured by those who were held and executed within its walls. While many of these ghostly stories are based on historical events and legends, the Tower of London's haunted history continues to capture the imagination of visitors and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Whether or not you believe in the supernatural, a visit to this historic fortress is sure to evoke a sense of awe and intrigue, steeped in centuries of captivating and often eerie tales. The Chateau de Chillon, located on the shores of Lake Geneva in Switzerland, is a medieval castle with a long and storied history, rich with legends and tales of hauntings. Over the centuries, the castle has witnessed numerous events, some of which have contributed to its haunted reputation. One of the most famous legends associated with the Chateau de Chillon involves the imprisonment and subsequent death of Francois Bonaparte. Francois Bonaparte was a Genevan politician and a prominent figure in the fight for independence from the House of Savoy in the 16th century. According to the legend, his ghost is said to still roam the castle's halls, forever haunting the place where he endured years of confinement. Another chilling tale that adds to the haunted aura of the castle is the story of the White Lady. The White Lady is a well-known figure in European folklore and appears in various haunted locations across the continent. In the case of Chillon, the White Lady is said to be the ghost of a former inhabitant or prisoner who met a tragic fate within the castle's walls. Her spirit is believed to linger in the castle, and some visitors and staff claim to have seen her ethereal figure drifting through the corridors. The dungeons of Chillon are infamous for their dark history and are believed to have witnessed numerous deaths and suffering throughout the centuries. Visitors to the dungeons often report feelings of unease, cold spots, and even hearing eerie whispers or faint cries, adding to the castle's reputation as a haunted location. The castle's extensive history of warfare and conflict also plays a part in its haunted past. Over the centuries, it has been involved in battles and sieges, leading to the deaths of soldiers and attackers. The residual energy from these intense and violent events is thought by some to contribute to the supernatural phenomena experienced within the castle. Today, the Chateau de Chillon is a popular tourist destination, and visitors are often intrigued by its haunted history and the captivating legends that surround it. While skeptics may dismiss these tales as mere stories, the atmosphere and the historical significance of the castle undoubtedly leave an impression on those who visit, and the haunted reputation persists, adding to the allure of this ancient and enigmatic fortress. Bobby Mackey's Music World, located in Wilder, Kentucky, is more than just a popular honky-tonk venue. Beneath its cheerful facade lies a haunting past that has attracted ghost hunters, investigators, and curious thrill seekers from all over the world. Talking to locals, one said, "I've heard stories about the place being haunted ever since I was a kid. People have seen apparitions, heard strange voices, and experienced unexplained phenomena inside Bobby Mackey's." Another local says, "They say it all started with the building's dark history, a past that's filled with tragedy, violence, and even satanic rituals." That's right, legend has it that Bobby Mackey's Music World was once a slaughterhouse where grisly acts took place. It's said that the residual energy from those tragic events still lingers within the walls, attracting paranormal activity to this day. One paranormal investigator says Bobby Mackey's has gained a reputation as a paranormal hotspot due to the numerous reports of ghostly encounters. Visitors have claimed to see full-body apparitions, hear disembodied voices, and even feel physical contact from unseen forces. Many believe that the spirits haunting Bobby Mackey's are linked to a particular tragedy, the murder of Pearl Bryan. Her body was found decapitated near the site. It's believed that her killers were associated with occult practices. The gruesome nature of her murder has led some to believe that her restless spirit still roams the halls seeking justice or revenge. When interviewed, a psychic medium stated, "When I walked into Bobby Mackey's, I could feel the presence of spirits all around me. The energy is heavy and intense. It's as if souls trapped within these walls want their stories to be heard." The paranormal activity doesn't stop there. Bobby Mackey's is also infamous for its gateway to hell. According to local legends, an opening to the underworld exists within the basement of the building, serving as a portal for demonic entities. The basement is said to be the epicenter of supernatural phenomena. Witnesses have reported seeing shadow figures, hearing demonic growls, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread when venturing into this eerie space. As we conclude our exploration of the haunted history of Bobby Mackey's Music World, it's clear that this place holds a deep, chilling mystery. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, there's no denying the countless testimonies of those who have experienced the unthinkable within these walls. Remember, viewers, if you ever find yourself in Kentucky and seek a bone-chilling adventure, Bobby Mackey's Music World awaits. But beware, for you may just uncover more than you bargained for. The Birdcage Theater, located in Tombstone, Arizona, is a historic landmark with a reputation for being one of the most haunted places in the United States. Built in 1881, the Birdcage Theater served as a saloon, gambling hall, theater, and brothel during the Wild West era. It quickly gained a notorious reputation for its rowdy and lawless atmosphere. The building's haunted history is attributed to its violent past and the tragic events that took place within its walls. Over the years, many stories of paranormal activity have emerged, and visitors and employees alike have reported experiencing eerie encounters and unexplained phenomena. Numerous witnesses claim to have seen full-bodied apparitions of cowboys, gamblers, prostitutes, and other characters from the Wild West era wandering through the building. These spirits are often described as appearing lifelike and indistinguishable from living people. Visitors have reported hearing sounds of laughter, shouting, and music, as if the raucous parties of the past are still taking place within the theater. The ghostly echoes of the past reportedly reverberate through the walls. Several accounts tell of objects being moved or thrown by unseen hands. Glasses and bottles have allegedly slid across tables or fallen without any apparent explanation. Many people claim to have heard mysterious voices, whispers, and conversations coming from empty rooms or corners of the theater. Unexplained drops in temperature have been reported in certain areas of the building, often associated with the presence of supernatural entities. Some visitors have reported seeing ghostly reflections in the mirrors of the Birdcage Theater, only to turn around and find no one behind them. Dark, shadowy figures have been spotted moving throughout the theater, sometimes darting quickly from one side to another. These haunted tales are often linked to the violent and turbulent past of the Birdcage Theater. The establishment witnessed numerous gunfights, stabbings, and deaths, as it was a hotspot for gambling and other vices in the Old West. It is believed that the residual energy of these events, along with the spirits of those who died tragically, lingers on, contributing to the building's haunted reputation. The Birdcage Theater is now open to the public as a museum, allowing visitors to explore its historic and eerie past. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the stories surrounding the Birdcage Theater have undoubtedly added to its allure and fame as a haunted location in American history.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more content just like this. Until next time, stay curious